When was the last time you asked the question, why am I even meditating in the first place? Why am I going to retreats? Why do I commit myself to this practice on a daily basis? Maybe it's just to feel better. Or maybe there's a sense of helplessness there of like trying to figure out something deeper, because there's a lot of suffering and experience. And you're trying to do something desperately to go beyond that. So you're trying to get to the root. You're trying to practice something like self-inquiry, right? You're trying to practice Vipassana meditation. You're trying to practice for what? For me, I remember earlier on in my life, I was sitting at home meditating on a daily basis. I would get up, feel anxious, feel insecure about where I was at in my life, and all I knew was how to meditate. And for me, that was just sort of aimless shot in the dark. That seemed plausible, given that I'd heard stories about people who had become like completely liberated by practicing earnestly, practicing seriously. You hear things and you see recounts of other people online, people portraying an image of what an enlightened person is. So you might follow gurus. You look to them, and it sounds cliche, and you probably know this, but you look to them and you know to not compare yourself to them. You know that that's just a fool's game, but yet you still do. You hold that background doubt in the back of your mind that's like, well, surely they've figured it out. Surely they constantly feel good, and they're always virtuous in their behavior, and they're always happy, calm, and collected. And yeah, you continue to trust that. And then you compare that to your experience, and you feel anxious, you feel sad, you feel inauthentic. So you keep meditating, and you keep meditating, and you keep meditating. It makes a lot of sense, because you're holding on to that idea of what it will get for you. And maybe you've never even questioned what that is. What is it you're going to get? And yeah, I remember being so gung-ho for this awakening, enlightenment thing. Just so adamant on it was the only thing that would work. And I'm telling you, in my vulnerability, that has to just be exhausted, man. Like, for me, what I realized after getting up, meditating without skipping, like meditation sittings for like, I was doing 2 hours a day, every day. It's like, God, what was I trying to do? And like, I would sit and I would sit and I would sit, and it was just, I realize now I was just looking for safety. I was looking to feel okay in my own skin. And it was so hard for me to shirk that notion. In fact, there was even like spiritual superiority over even trying other techniques. Like I would see certain teachers who promoted things like emotion work, shadow work, and I would be like, those poor fools, they don't know, they haven't found the real juice, like they haven't gone all the way, so bad luck to them. And I know this is a theme that comes up for people. It may be coming up for you. You may be watching this video with this sort of reserved holding back of like, nah, like this guy, I'm gonna watch this video so I can prove this guy wrong. So if that is present, if you feel that energy in your body right now, and you zoom into it and you feel it fully, And if you actually do that, and you forego your spiritual concepts, and you feel any sort of tension or needing to defend your standpoint right now, just meet that. I know that energy really well. Just feel it. Feel it all the way. Maybe it says something like, no, like this guy really doesn't know what he's talking about. Maybe he's just like a new agey sort of random guy. Like, what does he know? I'm going to go back to my other teacher, my other facilitator who knows the way, who has unfettered their mind completely, and they're deeply realized. Yet still, I don't even know what deeply realized even is, but I'm just holding out unconsciously that whatever they're promoting is the medicine that I deeply need. So just feel that, just stay in that, and just kiss it with your attention by coming close to it. Just stay with it. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of meeting within yourself? What is so ugly about yourself that you need to meditate for hours and hours to get rid of it? To somehow transcend it? To somehow go beyond it completely? Maybe it's that anxiety that's been so chronically held in your gut, or that tension that's so tight in your chest that it doesn't know anywhere else to go except to funnel all of that energy into awakening, to somehow have something explode and release, and some penetrating insight to creak through the cracks. By the way, I'm not disowning the need for meditation. I think it's wonderful, so it's not all for naught, but I'm challenging that part of you that wants to fixate and cling to that for dear life, that doesn't want to try anything else, that feels like if it does try something else, something really bad would happen. Suffering would amplify in some way. You would lose ground and footing on something that you've invested so much into. And what would that mean? You'd be helpless, maybe. You'd be exhausted. You wouldn't know what to do. The only thing you thought would help you that isn't actually helping you, maybe you're coming to a realization that maybe there's another way. And that's terrifying. That's like really scary. I know it is, because I've felt it. But I'm still here. Still going on. And I've opened up to different things as well. So just let yourself feel deeply in your body. Let yourself feel the discomfort of not knowing what the fuck to do about your suffering. Just let yourself feel that. Be okay with not knowing. Be okay with being absolutely normal, absolutely human. Subtracting away any ideologies or any frameworks about no self, anatta, impermanence, anicca, anatta, dukkha, all of your retreat history, all of your backlog of 15 retreats that you've been to. Just forego all of that and then just feel what's going on in your body. Can you be fully human? Can you just allow yourself to meet yourself where you are for once in your experience, rather than trying to have this background agenda of trying to meditate your way out of something because you're so broken, because you feel so broken? And just sit in that and give yourself the biggest hug that you can imagine energetically. Meet yourself from the most vulnerable place. Fucking dog. Let's just recenter while these dogs have at it. But meet yourself from that vulnerable place with an open heart, a soft heart. By breathing into that space, breathing into the helplessness, into the absolute discomfort of being a human being, of where you are right now in your life. And ask yourself, what am I really seeking here? What am I really trying to get through this whole process? Through this whole process of awakening. And don't disown the truth, because you're seeking the truth, right? Maybe you have a doubt that if I think about the truth, thought is illusory and I shouldn't be entertaining thought. What's wrong with thought if you're not identified with it? Don't fixate. Ask authentically, like your life depends upon it. What am I trying to get? And just keep meeting yourself in that place of complete vulnerability, complete disarming vulnerability, foregoing your teacher's enlightenment and any sort of expectation you have on what it would look like for your path to wake up more deeply. Just let it all go and die into the cauldron of authenticity, truth, and vulnerability, and meet yourself exactly where you're at. Again and again and again.